Aris is the editor-in-chief of BNE IntelliNews. He joins us now from Berlin. Great to have you back with us, Ben. As Zelenskyy visits Turkey, we're hearing reports in Russian media that Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff is actually about to land in Russia. So it seems like we have a lot of diplomatic activity going on in terms of the Russia-Ukraine war. What do you think is happening here?
It's not clear at all. Vitkov was supposed to actually turn up in Turkey, but then it was reported that he talked to Umarov, who's the defense minister, who's in America at the moment. And then suddenly he's turning up, and the Russians are reporting that he's coming to Moscow. In the background, American publication Axios have been reporting that Trump is trying to revive the ceasefire negotiations, and that there's been various secret back channel discussions going on, and that he's trying to put together a deal similar to the deal that he's done on Gaza. And he hopes to bring this war to an end. I mean, he said he was going to stop it in 24 hours. And then he's failed repeatedly. Zelenskyy has pushed back. The main sticking point is that Putin is insisting that he takes all of the Donbass, that the Ukrainian troops withdraw and give up the territory that the Russians don't control, and Zelenskyy is refusing to do that. And so we've reached an impasse. But at the same time, it now seems there's a renewed effort to try and get this ceasefire done. And the war is going very badly for Ukraine, and winter is coming, and everybody would like to see it stop as soon as possible.
And Zelenskyy's visit to Turkey comes after that significant announcement between Ukraine and France, with Kiev pledging to buy some 100 fighter jets from France. We know that's more of a longer-term security arrangement. But what do you make of the recent machinations in terms of Ukrainian diplomacy in the region? Do you think he's successfully trying to win over renewed support from his Western allies at a time when perhaps many people are fatigued by the war?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a constant thing with Zelenskyy is that, Ukraine is short of men, money, and material weapons, and that he lobbies regularly. But I mean, we're coming to another crisis, a crunch point, because the shortage of manpower on the battlefield is becoming critical. And there's this epic battle going on for the Donbass city of Pokrovsk at the moment. And the lack of men has become so acute. You've got kilometer-long holes in the defensive lines. And the Russians have got into the city of Pokrovsk by taking small units and sneaking them through these gaps. And so something needs to be done. At the same time, Ukraine is going to run out of money maybe as soon as February next year, because America's pulled out, hasn't sent any money at all since Trump took over. And the EU is struggling to find something on the order of 140 billion euros in order to fund Ukraine. And consequently, Zelensky's been on a tour. He's been in France, he's been in Spain, he's been in Greece. Now he's on his way to Turkey, and he's doing the rounds, trying to rally people, trying to keep the support going so that they continue to get weapons supplies from the West, that he continues to be the funding that they need to continue this war. And like I say, it's building up to what looks like a crunch to me. And consequently, this tour is similar to the others, but it's become even more important that Zelenskyy gets the pledges, gets the commitments from his Western allies. And they understand that, but it's going to be an uphill fight.
Depending on who you ask, some are saying that Russia and Ukraine are now in a war of attrition, with Russia simply wearing down the Ukrainian side. We know that strategy is familiar to Russian forces in the past. What do you think is happening? Do you agree with that assessment?
Well, this has been the Kremlin strategy all along, is to keep grinding away. The failed summer offensive of 2023, when the Russians built these heavy defenses that Ukraine couldn't penetrate. But since then, I mean, Putin's put the entire the entire economy on a war footing. But now it's starting to pay dividends. Now they're massively outproducing Ukraine in terms of the number of drones they're producing, tanks. They've got to the point where they're meeting all of their battlefield needs from domestic production. And so he just needs to dig in. And as I already said, the fatigue in the West is growing. So actually, Putin has an option of not even pushing for a military victory. He can just wait for that support to collapse. Because Ukraine remains entirely dependent on outside help. This is the big difference between them. So Putin can just take his time. I mean, it's costing a lot in men. They're losing maybe 1,000 soldiers a day. But with a population of 150 million people, that's never been a problem for Russia. In fact, it's always been the way it fought. And against that, Ukraine is running out of men. So again, time will tell. That's another factor where the clock is against Zelensky. He needs a resolution, which again gives impetus to this, what appears to be a fresh attempt to find some sort of ceasefire.
Okay, Ben, Aris, great to get your thoughts as always. Thanks for
My
joining us.
pleasure.